Hello, everybody. Welcome to the big show. My name is Mickey. This is Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for middle Americans where all middle Americans are welcome. It doesn't matter what your demographic is, doesn't matter what your religion is, doesn't matter how tall, how short, how heavy, how not heavy you happen to be. This is a show where everybody is welcome. Every single day, it seems like somebody's trying to drive a wedge between you and everybody else. They want to divide you. And the simple fact of the matter is, they want to divide you from the people that would have a different opinion from you. They want the government to solve all of your problems. They want you to be responsible for nothing. They want to take your children and educate them the way that they want to educate your children. They want to take your kids and tell them about sex the way that they want to tell them. They want to tell them about the environment. They want to tell them about everything, but they're not leaving anything up to you. This is the place where we believe that you need to be able to be responsible for yourself, your family, your community, your church, your town, your state, and the federal government. That's why the vote is so important. So here, what we're trying to do is we're trying to kick the 20% of the crazies on the left out. We're trying to kick the 20% of the crazies on the right out. And we want 60% of the people that are in the middle that have a sense of what is right and wrong and a sense of moderation so that we can all get together, come up with compromises, and find the best way forward in the world. So that's what this show is all about, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being here tonight. So without further ado, let's get to the Mickey in the Middle Comment Olympics. And today, Carolyn Greggs Ledger, congratulations on being the first one to make a comment. You're the gold medal winner. Cannot tell you how proud I am of you. Back on top. That is totally awesome. Susie, silver medal Susie, back in the silver medal position. She is here on a regular basis. She is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate her service to her country and the fact that she's a big fan of Mickey in the Middle. And then Steve Hayes, the man. When I say the man, I'm not talking about a man. I'm talking about the man. Steve Combat Hayes down there in the Villages in Florida. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I cannot tell you. He is another veteran friend of mine, retired from the military. He's done an outstanding job. He had such a great influence on the way the United States Air Force operates and the way that we're operating now and the way that we're going to operate in the future. So thank you very much for your service, Steve. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. So without further ado, let me tell you what I've been doing. So everybody knows that I missed Friday night. And the reason I missed the show on Friday night is because it was time to hang out with my family. So my cousin, Chris, drove down from Plymouth, Massachusetts to hang out with me so that we can go to a ball game with a lot of the people in his family and a lot of the people in my family, and we're cousins. So his mom and my dad were brother and sister. And just want to let you know, it's unbelievable whenever you get your family together. So we had 14 members of the family come down. So all of my brothers and sisters showed up. My daughter showed up. Her boyfriend showed up. Chris, his sister, his other sister, his brother-in-law. So it was great to see Richard, Martha, Deborah. It was great to see Chris. It was great to see Sydney, Skylar, Cammie, Nicole, Christy, Tegan, Kelly, Bailey, Scott. It was great to see everybody. So it was fantastic. We went down, and here's, I started thinking about this. We went to a Rangers baseball game. Now, the Rangers have been our team as a family for a long time. Now, not all of the family, but me, my dad, my sister, my niece, Tegan, because that was the ball games that we got whenever we went to my dad's house. So that was my team. Crazy thing is, Chris and his family are from Massachusetts. So they're big Red Sox fans, and that's why we got together. And we started talking, and we found out that we have a lot of the same values, and we have a lot of the same things. Now, they're from Massachusetts. They're from Plymouth. Everybody knows that Massachusetts is a blue state, primarily Democratic, but every once in a while they'll throw in a red governor, which happens to be a Republican. And I'm not saying that Republicans don't exist in Massachusetts because they certainly do. But predominantly, we started talking about the values that we share, and the values that we share are very, very similar. And I was trying to explain to Chris that the purpose of Mickey in the Middle is to not bleed blue, not be red, kind of be purple. Oh, wait a minute. Kind of be purple like this right here, so that we can be red and blue together and we can be independents, and that we don't have to be loyal to a political party. We have to be loyal to ideas and the politicians that represent our ideas. And it doesn't matter what issue it is. If it's recycling, the way that they do recycling in Massachusetts is different than the way we do recycling in Arkansas. But doesn't mean that either one of those programs are wrong. It just means that they're different. The fact that Democrats in Massachusetts, I'm not saying my cousins are Democrat or Republican. I think he's independent as I am, but I'm just saying that the Democrats in Massachusetts value the same thing that the Republicans in Arkansas do, right? We want our children to be well educated. We want our children to have food in their belly, a roof over their head, clothes on their back. We want to be able to teach them about our religion, our family traditions, our heritage, about the United States the way that we see it. We want to be able to control as much as we can the conversation with our children so we can mold them in the image that we want them molded in. The government keeps trying to take our kids away. Now, I understand that teachers are a valuable asset inside of our culture. We value teachers. The simple fact is that there are a lot of people that say that the teachers should teach our children everything. And I'm like, maybe not. Maybe they should teach them the areas in which they happen to be expert, right? So if you're a math teacher, stick with math. If you're an English teacher, stick with English. If you're a science teacher, stick with science. And let's do value-based education. Leave it with the family and with the churches and with the community organizations. How about the simple fact of the matter is that when we send our children to school, they've got enough to fill up an entire day, and that they work on general character building about, hey, how to be a good person, how to be inclusive, how to use diversity. Let's not get out of the realm, but everybody knows that if you cross the street, you should hold somebody's hand. You should say please. You should say thank you. Sometimes you should use the word sir. Sometimes you should use the word ma'am. Sometimes you could use somebody else's pronouns. All of that is okay. Just teach our children to be respectful of each other. But other than that, they need to stick with the basics of reading, writing, arithmetic, science, maybe some theater thrown in, some forensics thrown in, some technical ability. We got to prepare them with the education of the core subjects to be ready to go tackle the world and be ready for their future environments. And I found that the more that I talk to Chris and the more that I talk to Debbie and Martha and Richard, although we don't see each other very much, we only see each other every couple of years when we go to family reunions, I found out that they have almost the identical values that I have. And that's the point of Mickey in the Middle. The point of Mickey in the Middle really is that there are extreme views on the left, there are extreme views on the right, but if we sit down and we talk about things and we really work it out, and we try to understand the problem and how we can work as a community to solve these issues, we can really do that. Now, we got an election coming up. The election's a perfect opportunity to let your voice be heard. And when you let your voice be heard, you go down and you cast your ballot, but you have to be smart about the way you cast your ballot. You got to research these people. You got to find out whether they're crazy. You got to find out whether they have extreme views. You got to find out whether they really value you and your input as a citizen. See, our politicians should not go and make up their mind and hardcore it. They should listen to their constituents, and then their constituents should drive the way that they vote on all major issues. It absolutely blows my mind that today's day and age, our Congress has not solved our situation down at the southern border. Just blows my mind that they can't come up with a policy that is going to secure the border. You know, if let's say that 2 million illegal aliens are coming across the border and that the Democrats want 2 million people to come across the border. How come we can't have a secure border and figure out a way to let those 2 million people in? I'm just saying, that sounds like a good compromise to me. How come we can't figure out how to satiate both sides and come to an agreement in the middle? Because that's all that the Republicans have been saying for years and years and years, to secure the border, and then we will work on allowing the dreamers in, allowing the number of immigrants that we need in our country to work the jobs that we have. Now, I'm not going to insult anybody. I'm not going to insult anybody and say that there are jobs that Americans won't do, and that's why we need migrants come to the United States of America. It doesn't matter why a migrant comes to America, and it doesn't matter where they fit in their society. But if you think, or you have the attitude that the only job that a migrant can do is work in a field or work in a low-level job or work changing sheets out at a low-rent hotel or can be a gardener, that's insulting not only to my intelligence, but the migrants that are coming here. Many of the migrants that come here are going to start businesses. They're going to raise family. They're going to run multi-million-dollar corporations one of these days. And to think that a migrant is only here to go work in a field or in a restaurant or in a hotel is insulting to the people that are coming to the United States of America. The reason that people are coming to the United States of America is to live the American dream, to reach the American middle class, to be productive and work for yourself in order to provide yourself and your family a better life. They're not coming here to change sheets in a low-rent hotel. They're not coming here to bust tables and wash dishes. They're not coming here to work in the fields. They're coming here to make a better life for themselves. And every time I hear somebody say, well, they're going to do jobs that no American wants to do, that means that you're not paying Americans enough to do it. Or you haven't figured out a way to incorporate the American dreams into American dreams in order to get that done. See, people have dreams of opening up restaurants and opening up hotels and opening up different places of business that are going to employ other people. And some of those people are going to be low wage. Some of those are going to be minimum or median wage. And some of those are going to be high wage institutions. We got to figure out a way to make business work without being insulting to the migrants that are coming across the border. We also have to hold corporations accountable for the people that they hire, whether they're migrants, whether they're illegal immigrants, whether they're citizens of the United States of America. We got to figure all that stuff out. You know, another policy is our international policy on climate change. You're going to try to tell me that we have to get rid of oil right now? Well, guess what? I was outside and I was looking at a car and I was looking at the tires on my van. That's made with a lot of petroleum in it. Yeah, it's got a lot of rubber, but the vulcanized rubber and the compounds that go in rubber are heavily petroleum based. All of the asphalts on our roads are heavily petroleum based. All the plastic is petroleum based. All of the appliances we have are heavily influenced by oil and gas. How we heat our homes, how we cool our homes, how we do everything in everyday life is driven by oil. And for them to say, we're just going to stop oil? Wind power cannot replace oil in plastic. Solar power cannot replace the petroleum products in rubber tires. Wind and solar cannot replace the oil that goes into our roads whenever we asphalt our roads. And for somebody to go, we need to get rid of all oil, that's stupid. It's unbelievably stupid. And the simple fact of the matter is that when you cut off gas lines and you cut off oil production and you stop coal mining and you use the EPA and the FDA as a cudgel to stop oil production in the United States of America, we've got to get oil from somewhere because half of the manufacturers in the United States rely on oil. And now all of a sudden you force them into a position where they have to pay more or they have to import the oil from bad people like Russia, bad people like Iran, bad people like Saudi Arabia. I said it. Bad people like in Saudi Arabia. They're not good people over there. Bad people like in Venezuela. So that means that the price of oil is going to go up. It's absolutely insanity the way that we're doing this. So to say that we can't come up with a compromise that says, yes, we're going to keep the oil production and gradually bring it down as our capability in oil or in solar and hydroelectric and nuclear and wind goes up, we need to maintain a certain level of energy production in the United States in order to make that happen. And to get rid of it and just cut one without having the other is insane. So our politicians need to get together, and our politicians, this is the year to vote new politicians in. The old politicians have been doing a horrible job. Our old politicians are not talking to each other. Our old politicians are not compromising. And the most valuable lesson that I've learned is that somebody that comes from a blue state can still get along with somebody from a red state. And we can go and be Ranger fans and simultaneously be Boston fans and sit in the seats of a stadium together and drink beer and cheer for both teams. Because a winner is going to be declared, but it doesn't mean that we need to be dickheads about how we view the other team. So we can still talk, we can still compromise, we can still say that's a good idea on the other side. We can still say, let's talk about this, and let's not be so steeped in our opinion that we're not willing to listen to somebody with a different viewpoint. Here's what the thing is. One of the craziest things that we have going on right now is the conversation about gender in our schools. Here's the thing. That's a real conversation and it affects a lot of people. And when you think about 0.4% of the population of the United States being gay, lesbian, bi, trans, asexual, whatever the genders that they come up with, although it's less than 0.5%, we have 330 million people in the United States of America. That's a lot of people, even if it's less than 0.5%. That means that one time or another, we're going to have that conversation. Because if that many people are affected by the conversation, then that means that we need to talk about it. Because it doesn't matter whether you have a family member that's a half brother or half sister or from another family or from another mom or from another dad. We're all in the same boat together. And to ignore the fact that that conversation needs to take place so that we can come to some type of resolution about it, and how are we going to address that as a nation, that's relative to the human rights of the people that are involved with the conversation. And all I'm saying is we have to be willing to have those conversations so that we can figure out solutions on how to move forward as a society. Now, I know this is crazy talk, and I'm getting very, very philosophical, and I would like to apologize, but I'm on vacation, and me and my cousin Chris have been talking, and I'm on vacation. So when I say I'm on vacation, I'm not saying that there's any alcohol in here, but I'm not saying there's any less alcohol in here either. So let's go to the comments and see what everybody. Steve Head says, thanks for the plug, brother. Love you. I love you too, man. Susie says, used to go watch the Rangers all the time when I lived in Arlington. I'm going to tell you what, Susie, it was a great ball game. The new ballpark is Globe Life Park. We stayed about a mile away. It was an easy commute over. It was an absolutely beautiful ballpark. it was one of the greatest experiences of my life because we took 9 seats in 2 different rows. My sister and her best friend from elementary school, which was in Turkey in the 1970s, got back together and they sat right next to each other. It was absolutely fantastic, to have my daughter there, my brothers and sisters there, to be able to watch a ball game with them and experience a piece of America. That was absolutely awesome. So if you get a chance, I'm saying head back down to Texas and pull in a ball game. They're playing, and it doesn't matter whether the teams are both in a race to the bottom. All it matters is that we're getting out and we're enjoying the pastime. And do you know what I didn't hear the entire time I was at the ball game? That a Republican sucks, or that a Democrat sucks, or that an independent sucks, or that a progressive sucks. Just people going out and having pretzels and hot dogs and some beers and watching the ball game and enjoying themselves. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't say let's go Brandon more than once, but the only reason I said let's go Brandon is because it was funny. And I'm telling you right now, let's go Brandon. It was funny. So if Saturday Night Live can do jokes about Let's Go Brandon, so can I inside of a ballpark. And by the way, we had a wave that went around the ballpark 3 times, so that was pretty good. Way! So that was awesome. So 3 cheers to my friend Steve down there in Florida. 3 cheers to Susie. 3 cheers to everybody the way that you are. I am on vacation. I think I'm going to be here all this week. Right now, we are in Branson. We just went out to have a fantastic dinner, just got some ribs. Going to be here all week. We're going to go golfing in the morning. We're going to make tie-dye t-shirts. It's going to be a great time down here. So I hope to be in a good mood for the rest of the week. And just want to say thank you very much for your time and attention. This is a pretty good thing. One other thing. One other thing I want to talk about. I've been going off on both sides. One other thing I want to talk about. In California made a rule that said that if you have a corporation, you are going to have a woman on the board. They literally made that rule. If you have a corporation, you're going to break it down by demographics, and they said you're going to have a woman on the board. A judge in California said that that's not constitutional. So here's to that judge. And the reason is because if I start a business and I start a corporation and I want to have it on there and I want it to be me and my family members and we're all male, then how come I can't have a corporation with all males on there? Why do I have to find a woman? So the judge said it's not constitutional. The state of California said that it's not discriminatory because you can add seats to the board and include a woman on the board. Now, my question is, if California doesn't recognize the fact that there are women and men, how do you then distinguish who is a man or a woman on the board if all men and women are equal and women can be men or men can be women or they're interchangeable? So I'm just saying, California, you got to get your shit together. You can't have it both ways. You can't say women have to be on the board and then say that you can't define what a woman is. Just saying, get your shit together, align it, have it make sense, and stay out of business because California has absolutely no business being in who is going to be on a board of any corporation. They don't know anything about it. I'm starting a new corporation when I get back from vacation. I'm starting a brand new corporation, and it can't tell you what the name of it is. It's proprietary secrets right now, but it's going to be awesome. And I'm not going to have anybody on the board except me. And I'm not going to add anybody else. I'm not going to add a man. I'm not going to add a woman. I'm not going to add a transgender person. I'm not going to add a bisexual, because who somebody sleeps with or how they identify has absolutely nothing to do with running the corporation that I'm going to be running. See, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman or child. It just matters whether you're interested in the business that I'm opening. And to say that I have to put a woman on a board just because I have a business is bullshit if a woman has no interest in what the hell I'm doing. It doesn't even make sense, especially seeing as how if I choose to put a woman on the board, if they change their mind and say, I'm sorry, I'm transitioning to be a woman, from a woman to be a man, does that mean that I have to kick the person that's transitioning from a woman to be a man off the board and put another woman on there? Come on, man. None of this shit makes sense. Stay out of my gender. Stay out of my life. Government, all they do is cause trouble. So, anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. So, without further ado, my name is Mickey. This has been Mickey in the Middle. 9 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday, right here wherever I am, right there wherever you are. Remember to like, share, hit the notification bell. We can't do this without you. Thank you very much for making your comments. Steve Hayes says California needs to fall off the into the ocean. Here's the deal is, dude, you live in Florida. California probably says that Florida needs to fall off into the ocean too. But I will take that under advisement. And if it happens, I'm going to tell you what, I'll feel sorry for all the people that get injured, but I will not be offended that the attitudes that the people have out there that are just absolutely twisted and make no sense. I will not miss that. So, bottoms up. Oh, Susie, thank you very much. Prost. Carolyn, thank you very much. I'm going to enjoy as much of this vacation as I can. I'm trying to convince my cousin Chris to be on show with me. He is an extremely smart man. He was an executive in a large corporation in the United States that had worldwide implication. He watched the company grow from being very, very small to being very, very successful. He's an extremely smart man. He's conscientious about his neighborhood. He's conscientious about the United States of America, the way the United States of America fits inside of the world, and the way that we fit inside of the universe. He's one of the smartest, funniest, most heartfelt, compassionate human beings in the world. And one of these days, I hope to introduce you to him. So we're going to go outside. We're going to have some bourbon, and then we're going to go and smoke some cigars. We're going to do the vacay thing. So without further ado, thank you very much. Remember, 9 p.m. Central, Monday through Friday on most nights, unless I'm taking a little vacay. But we will be here tomorrow night. You guys all be good. Thank you very much for your comments. Know that I love you. You guys be good. Take care. Good night, small one. I love you. Adios. Oh, wait a minute. I got to go to graphics. Got to go to video clips. There we go. Good night, everybody.